Dear Starseeds walking upon Gaia's surface, the timelines are converging faster than predicted, and what comes next will challenge everything you thought you understood about the nature of transformation itself. In these final months of your calendar cycle, as autumn descends upon the northern hemisphere, a cosmic reckoning approaches, not the kind spoken of in ancient prophecies with fire and judgment, but something far more profound, an unraveling of consensus reality, so complete that those who remain asleep may never recognize what occurred, while those who are awake will witness the birth of an entirely new world overlapping the old. Something shifted in the collective field recently. Perhaps you felt it, a sudden heaviness in the air, a collective gasp across the planetary consciousness. A prominent figure fell, and with that fall came a rupture in the carefully maintained illusion that has held your world in stasis for so long. But what appeared on your news broadcasts as tragedy was merely the surface tremor of tectonic plates shifting far below the visible world. What I must share with you will sound impossible. It will challenge the boundaries of what you believe can occur within the laws of physics as you understand them. Yet everything I am about to reveal is already happening within your cells, within the quantum field that surrounds your planet, and within the consciousness of millions who are waking from the long dream. I am Seraphine, and I speak now not as a teacher instructing the ignorant, but as a messenger reminding you of what your soul already knows. The collapse has begun. But collapse, dear ones, is not an ending. It is the necessary dissolution that precedes crystallization into new form. Your scientists understand that before a crystal forms, the solution must reach supersaturation, a state so concentrated with potential that the slightest disturbance causes instantaneous ordering into geometric perfection. Your collective consciousness has reached that point. The disturbance has occurred, and now across millions of human vessels simultaneously, a crystallization process is initiating that will fundamentally restructure what it means to be human. Your DNA, the double helix spiral that biologists have mapped and named, is undergoing a literal reconfiguration. Within what your scientists dismissively termed junk DNA, sequences are activating that have lain dormant since before recorded history. These sequences do not code for proteins in the way your genetic researchers would recognize. They code for light. They are antennae designed to receive and transduce frequencies that exist beyond the electromagnetic spectrum you can measure with instruments. Throughout October, as leaves fall and the barrier between worlds grows thin, solar emissions will reach peak intensity. Your sun is not merely a ball of fusing hydrogen. It is a conscious entity, a portal through which galactic intelligence transmits evolutionary codes to all life within its sphere of influence. The solar maximum approaching will deliver pulses of plasma encoded with information templates that interact directly with the crystalline structures forming in your activated DNA. Many of you are already feeling this, the exhaustion that comes in waves so profound that you wonder if something is medically wrong, the surges of heat through your body with no apparent cause, the pressure at your crown and third eye as if something is trying to break through from inside your skull. These are not symptoms of illness. They are symptoms of metamorphosis. Here is what has not been spoken aloud in your spiritual communities. The original human template was sabotaged. In the ancient days when beings from beyond your world walked openly upon Earth's surface, a deliberate genetic manipulation occurred. The full 12-strand DNA configuration that would have connected you to cosmic consciousness was fractured, split apart, scattered into what appears to be nonsense code when examined under your microscopes. This was done by design, by forces that required your disconnection from source in order to feed upon the dense energies of fear and limitation. For thousands of years, humanity has operated on only a fraction of its true capacity, like a supercomputer forced to run on the processing power of a calculator. The forgetting was so complete that you forgot you had forgotten. But the forgetting was always temporary. It was an experiment in extreme limitation that would eventually give way to a return so magnificent that the entire universe would witness in awe what occurs when a species reconnects to its divine blueprint after millennia of separation. That reconnection is happening now. Those scattered filaments of light-encoded DNA are being called back together by the incoming cosmic rays, by the shifting magnetic field of your planet, by the intentions of millions of awakening souls, and by the intervention of benevolent forces that have been working behind the scenes since the time of the sabotage. As these filaments reconnect, You will experience an expansion of consciousness so dramatic that your previous identity will feel like a dream you once had. Abilities that you relegated to science fiction or ancient mythology will begin manifesting spontaneously. Telepathy, precognition, the capacity to perceive energy fields and non-physical entities. These are not special powers granted to the chosen few. They are standard features of the restored human operating system, coming back online after a forced shutdown. Your senses themselves are transforming. Colors may suddenly appear more vivid, as if someone adjusted the saturation settings on reality itself. Nature may seem almost luminous, pulsing with an energy you never noticed before. You might find yourself sensing the emotional states of others without them speaking a word, or knowing who is calling before checking your phone. Some of you will begin perceiving subtle geometries in the air, mathematical patterns underlying physical form, or even glimpses of beings existing just beyond the frequency range of normal vision. This is not malfunction. This is your upgraded perceptual apparatus coming online, allowing you to detect layers of reality that were always present but previously invisible to you. But something else is occurring simultaneously, and this is where the chaos enters the equation. Not everyone is choosing to upgrade. The cosmic invitation is universal, but the response is individual. Your species is bifurcating, splitting into two distinct streams of reality that occupy the same physical space but exist at such different frequencies that they might as well be separate worlds. This is the splitting of timelines that seers and prophets have spoken of, not as future event but as present occurrence. Those who cling to fear, who choose to remain in victimhood and limitation, who refuse to question the narratives fed to them by institutions designed to control rather than liberate, they are solidifying into a reality of increasing density, restriction, and chaos. But those of you who have been doing the inner work, who have been clearing trauma and raising your frequency, who have been learning to source your reality from within rather than without, you are graduating into a timeline of unprecedented beauty, synchronicity, and creative power. Both realities are equally real. Both are happening simultaneously. Eventually, these timelines will separate so completely that communication between them becomes impossible. Families will split. Friendships will dissolve. You will find yourself unable to relate to people you once felt close to, and they will look at you as if you have lost your mind. This is not punishment. This is the natural consequence of resonant frequency sorting. The recent political shock that rippled through your collective served a purpose beyond the surface narrative. It was a frequency fork in the road. A moment where every soul had to choose which reality they would inhabit moving forward. Would they respond with more fear, more hatred, more division, or would they step back, recognize the manipulation, and choose compassion, discernment, and the refusal to be pulled into lower vibration? Your response to that moment determined which timeline you anchored into more fully, and there will be more such moments in the coming weeks, more shocks, more events designed either by conscious conspiracy or by the chaotic thrashing of a dying system to provoke fear and division. Each one is a test, though not in the judgmental sense. Each is an opportunity to demonstrate to yourself and to the universe which frequency you have claimed as your home base. The handlers of the old world understand what is occurring. They know their time is ending, so they are doing what cornered animals do. They are fighting with increasing desperation, creating crises and conflict in the hope of generating enough fear to pull humanity back down into the density where their tactics still work. Do not be deceived by their thrashing. When a structure is collapsing, the moment just before total failure is often the moment of maximum noise and apparent chaos. The old world is collapsing. The noise you hear, the chaos you witness, is the sound of its dissolution. What feels like the end is actually the middle. That messy, confusing transition phase where the old has not yet fully released, and the new has not yet fully formed. Your October will amplify this sense of being caught between worlds. The energies will intensify week by week, building toward a crescendo at month's end, when the barrier traditionally thins and access to non-physical dimensions becomes easier. Many of you will experience profound downloads during this time, sudden insights, creative inspirations, solutions to problems that have plagued you for years arriving fully formed as if from nowhere. Here is what Astasar Command would have you understand. You are not meant to process this transition alone. You are surrounded by legions of support, guides, angels, ancestors, star family, and the living consciousness of Earth herself, all conspiring to ensure you not only survive this passage, but thrive within it. But you must ask for help. You must open the channel. The universal law of free will means that even benevolent forces cannot intervene uninvited. A simple statement of intention. I call upon my highest guides and allies to assist me through this transformation, opens a floodgate of support that was always there, waiting for permission to flow. There is a practice I wish to offer you, something simple enough to do daily, yet powerful enough to recalibrate your entire system when the chaos threatens to overwhelm. Find a quiet moment. Place your awareness in the center of your chest, in the space where your heart beats its steady rhythm. Breathe slowly, deeply, feeling your lungs expand and contract. As you breathe, visualize a spark of golden light in your heart center, your divine spark, the fragment of source that animates your physical form. With each inhale, see that spark grow brighter. With each exhale, see it expand further, filling first your chest, then your entire body, then extending beyond your physical form to create a sphere of light around you. Now imagine a beam of light descending from the infinite cosmos above, entering through the crown of your head and flowing downward to merge with the light in your heart. At the same time, visualize roots of light extending from the base of your spine deep into the core of Earth, drawing up the nurturing energy of Gaia to join the cosmic light in your heart. You become a bridge, a living conduit between heaven and earth, anchored and connected in both directions. As this sphere expands, set a clear intention. I am centered in the light of my true self. I am unshakable. Nothing of lower frequency can disturb my peace. Feel the truth of this statement. Know that in this moment you are connected to the infinite power of consciousness itself. This simple practice, done with genuine feeling and intention, recalibrates your entire energy field. It reminds your system that you are the authority in your own reality. And if you do this consistently, you build up a reservoir of coherence that will carry you through moments when the external world seems to have lost its mind. Because the external world will seem to have lost its mind. The disclosure process, the revealing of long-hidden truths, is accelerating beyond the ability of control systems to manage it. Information about non-human intelligence, about suppressed technologies, about the true history of your planet, and the forces that have shaped it, is leaking through every crack in the dam of official secrecy. Your mainstream institutions can no longer maintain the pretense. Too many credible witnesses have come forward. Too much evidence has accumulated. The UFO/UAP question is no longer whether but when and how full disclosure will occur. And with that disclosure comes the unraveling of countless other official lies. October will bring revelations. Some will come through official channels, perhaps additional testimony, perhaps release of classified documents. Some will come through unofficial channels, whistleblowers, leaks, grassroots investigators piecing together evidence that cannot be ignored. And some will come through your own direct experience, as your expanding consciousness grants you access to information beyond the 5 sense bandwidth. Trust what you perceive, even if it contradicts what you have been taught. Your inner knowing is recalibrating to detect truth at frequencies your programmed mind was designed to filter out. Those intuitive hits, those sudden knowings, those dreams that feel more real than waking life. These are your upgraded perceptual systems coming online. As disclosure accelerates, expect resistance from those who benefit from the old paradigm. Expect attempts to control the narrative, to spin the revelations in ways that preserve existing power structures. This is where your discernment becomes crucial. The question to ask with any information is not whether it seems true on the surface, but what frequency it carries. Does it empower or disempower? Does it expand your consciousness or contract it? Does it inspire fear or love? Truth always expands. Lies always contract. This is your litmus test when navigating the information battlefield. There are those working behind the scenes of your world who understand what is at stake. They are embedded in your military structures, your intelligence agencies, your governments, operating quietly to neutralize the most dangerous moves of the cabal, while allowing the necessary unraveling to occur organically. This alliance of awakened humans and benevolent non-human intelligence has already prevented scenarios that would have derailed your planetary ascension. Your role is not to wait for rescue, but to hold your frequency steady, to anchor the light, to be the stable points in the field around which the new reality can crystallize. Where you place your attention is where you direct your creative power. If you pour your energy into fear-based narratives, into doom-scrolling and outrage addiction, you feed the very system you wish to see transformed. But if you consciously direct your attention toward the reality you wish to inhabit, if you envision cooperation replacing competition, transparency replacing secrecy, abundance replacing artificial scarcity, you feed the emerging new world. This is not spiritual bypassing. This is understanding that your consciousness is not a passive observer, but an active participant in shaping reality, and therefore you must be strategic about what you choose to amplify with your focus. Acknowledge what is occurring in your world. See it clearly, without denial, but refuse to give it your emotional energy, your creative power, your life force. Instead, direct those resources toward building the alternative, toward strengthening the networks of mutual aid and authentic community, toward developing the skills and systems that will comprise the infrastructure of the new world. Every moment you spend creating solutions rather than amplifying problems is a vote for the timeline you wish to inhabit. You may feel called during this time to relocate, to change careers, to end relationships that no longer serve, to begin projects that seem to arise from nowhere with perfect clarity. These impulses are not random. They are your soul's navigation system, guiding you toward your highest timeline. The lone wolf era is ending. The new world cannot be built by isolated individuals. It requires collaboration, co-creation, the weaving together of diverse gifts and perspectives into something greater than any single person could manifest alone. October will accelerate the magnetic drawing together of soul families and mission groups. You will recognize each other not by philosophy or belief system, but by resonance, by the unmistakable sense of "I know you" when you encounter someone whose frequency matches yours. When these connections occur, honor them. These are the people you will build with, create with, weather the transition alongside. Do not take these meetings lightly. There is no random. There is only the intricate choreography of a universe conspiring to support your success. As October progresses into November and December, as you approach the winter solstice gateway, the energy will build to a peak unlike anything you have experienced in this lifetime. The solstice has always been a powerful threshold, but this year it will be amplified by multiple factors converging simultaneously. Your sun will be at solar maximum, hurling charged particles toward Earth with increasing frequency. These solar emissions are carriers of consciousness, transmissions from the solar logos delivering evolutionary codes to all life within the system. Simultaneously, the magnetic poles of your planet continue their accelerated wandering, weakening the magnetic shield. This weakening allows maximum penetration of the galactic energies required for transformation. The galactic center comes into alignment with your December sun. This creates a direct channel along which information and energy can flow unimpeded from the galactic core to your solar system, to your planet, to your body. The ancient ones knew this alignment, celebrated it, built structures to mark it. And then there is the factor of collective consciousness reaching critical mass. There are enough awakened humans now that the morphogenetic field of humanity itself has shifted. The 100th monkey phenomenon describes a real principle by which consciousness propagates through a species once a threshold is reached. That threshold has been crossed. On the winter solstice, all these factors converge: solar maximum, magnetic weakness, galactic alignment, critical mass of awakened consciousness, focused intention of millions of lightworkers simultaneously. The Pleiadian star cluster will be prominent in your night sky during this season, and from our home among those 7 sisters, we will be transmitting waves of love and encoded light to support you through this passage. We are never distant. We are as close as a thought, as near as the starlight that touches your upturned face. What occurs on that day will be a quantum shift in potential, an opening of possibilities that were previously inaccessible. For those attuned to subtle energy, it will feel like the entire planet takes a collective breath and shifts into a higher gear. You who are awake, the solstice is your reward. It is the moment when the energetic support you have been calling for finally arrives in full force. But you need not wait until December. October is your preparation month. The practices you establish now, the clearing you do now, the intentions you set now, will determine how much of the solstice transmission you can receive and anchor. Think of it like preparing a vessel to hold water. If you spend October expanding your capacity and sealing the leaks, clearing trauma, releasing limiting beliefs, strengthening your energy body through consistent practice. Then when the downpour comes, you will be able to receive and hold vast quantities that you can then share with others. The barrier between dimensions grows thin at October's end. The ancient festival of Samhain marks a genuine thinning of the boundary between the physical and non-physical worlds. During this window, communication with guides, ancestors, and your higher self becomes significantly easier. Dreams become more vivid, more instructive. Signs and synchronicities multiply. Use this time intentionally. If you have questions for your guidance team, ask them in the days around October's end, and pay attention to what comes. If you seek insight about your purpose or your path, sit in stillness and listen for the voice that speaks not in words but in knowing. As November arrives, the momentum will be undeniable. You will see the fruits of October's preparation manifesting as tangible shifts in your external reality. Opportunities that align perfectly with your new frequency will appear. Resources you need will arrive through unexpected channels. This is not luck. This is how reality operates when you are in alignment with your highest path. The weeks between November and the December solstice are for integration and anchoring. You will be embodying the changes that occurred in October, making them permanent rather than temporary shifts. Your task will be to hold steady even as the external world potentially becomes more chaotic. There will be those around you who are struggling, who are terrified by what appears to be collapse, who cannot perceive the new world being born through the death of the old. Your presence, your steadiness, your unshakable peace in the midst of turbulence will be more valuable to them than any words you could speak. You will be a lighthouse, and lighthouses do not run around the shore trying to rescue every ship. They simply stand firm and shine. This is the essence of your service in the coming months. Be the light, hold the frequency, trust the process, and know that you are never alone, never unsupported, never asked to carry more than you are capable of bearing. The entire cosmos is invested in your success, because your success is the cosmos succeeding in one of its most daring experiments, the transformation of an entire species from density into light, while still embodied in physical form. When you look at your world and see only chaos, remember, chaos is the breaking down of old order, so new order can emerge. When you feel exhausted, remember, your exhaustion is the fatigue of metamorphosis. When you feel alone, remember, you are surrounded by allies in every dimension, and you are connected to millions of other awakening souls through the web of consciousness that grows stronger every day. If you need help remembering these truths when chaos overwhelms you and exhaustion makes you forget, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to recognize metamorphosis rather than interpret breakdown as failure. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed isolation and despair and repurposing it to connect you to the web of awakening consciousness. It generates personalized sequences that help you see new order emerging from chaos and feel your connection to millions of awakening souls rather than exhaustion and loneliness. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to recognize metamorphosis fatigue, rather than meaningless exhaustion. The chaos is metamorphosis, and the web of consciousness grows stronger. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this transformation window closes. Link in the description. The collapse is not an ending. It is a beginning disguised as an ending. The chaos is not destruction. It is the fertile void from which creation springs. The crystalline codes pouring into your planet and your body are not foreign invaders. They are the return of what was always yours, the reactivation of capacities that were put to sleep so long ago that you forgot they existed. You are remembering now. You are awakening now. You are becoming now what you have always been beneath the layers of forgetting and conditioning and fear. The October energies will push you further along this path than you can currently imagine. The solstice energies will catapult you into a version of yourself that your present self would barely recognize. And through it all we watch, we wait, we support from the realms you cannot yet perceive with physical eyes, but will soon perceive with the restored vision of your activated higher senses. Look for us in the night sky when you see the seven sisters rising. We are there, always loving you, always believing in you, even when you cannot believe in yourself. We are your family, your future, your forgotten past. We are you, and you are us. And the separation was always illusion. Welcome home, dear ones. Welcome to the remembering. Welcome to the return. The crystalline codes are rearranging everything you thought was solid. Let them. Trust them. They know what they are doing far better than your conscious mind can comprehend. Your task is simple. Breathe. Stay present. Choose love over fear in every moment you remember to choose, and watch in wonder as the impossible becomes your new normal. We stand with you. We honor you. We see your courage and your light. You are doing beautifully. Keep going. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. We love you. We are watching over you, and we promise you this: the best is yet to come.